children of the night. What music they make.
They're all gonna laugh at you!
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
What's up?
I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash your brain.
Get ready to release your rage! It's the final guys!
No!
Easy, killer. Easy.
Oh, my rage is in my loins.
That's not what I meant. Welcome to Final Guys. It's Tuesday night. I've got Dr. Morphine here with me. How's it going, Doctor?
Very good. Let me get my spit gun ready.
And I'm Samson's Pringle can is also here.
That's the biggest dick I've ever seen in my life.
I can't wait to talk more about the year of the dong. Just continues to roll on.
I'm going to have nightmares tonight after watching this.
Rippling down. It's amazing.
And I'm your driver for tonight, members only. And we are covering 28 years later, which is continuing the trend of male full frontal in horror movies, which like halfway through the movie, I don't know, at some point in the movie, the light bulb went off. I was like, oh, Jason, this is going to be awesome.
I laughed out loud. No one, it's just nothing funny going on. Laughed out loud. And the best part is my wife is having vision problems. So when it was all over, I said, oh my God, you see the size of that guy's schwanz? She goes, what? They showed it? As big as it was, she didn't see it.
She needs glasses.
Dude, oh my God.
On the full screen, it was like 4 feet long on the big screen.
Yeah.
She's Mrs. Magoo. It's Jurassic cock.
I saw the best thing I saw on Twitter was 28 inches later. I swear to God, every guy in that theater walked out with the Napoleon complex.
My wife is not allowed to watch that movie. That has to be a prosthetic, but just in case it's not, she's not allowed to watch that movie.
I read somewhere it is a prosthetic.
It has to be.
Oh my God!
Yeah, I mean that's like Boogie Nights. Your Pringles can is a great.
Did you see that thing flopping as he was running?
Yes, I thought he was going to knock himself out.
Mama said, "Knock you out."
Just amazing.
Let's give one. Let's for the dong.
Yeah,
a
there
dong
we go.
for the dong. A ding for
Another
the dong.
People thought we were talking about dicks last week. Just wait till this.
I mean,
just ramping up.
So we'll uncover the rest of this story when we get to the main feature.
Yes.
What's going on? Anything to report?
Yes, I've got two. The first, it's time. It should have been last month. We should have opened all these packages.
Look at all that.
Or last week, but didn't get to. So this week, Sunday live stream. I'm very excited because I want to know what's in that giant box. I think it's full of beer. 95% sure. But it was very heavy carrying it up here. So
I think it's actually totin'.
It's totin'.
I think it's...
He finally nailed himself.
And second, I finally have a link for the live event we are doing for So Bad It's Good. It is in the video description. If you're listening, it should be in the podcast description, the MP3 metadata. It should be in there.
Oh, awesome.
We are flying up Joel D. Winecoop. I've been saying Winecoop this whole time. I just found out it's Winecoop. The director of Lost Faith, who's going to watch the movie with us, and we will hang out with everybody afterwards and get pictures and talk bad movies with the director and star of one of our favorite bad movies.
What's the date?
That is going to be August the 9th. Event starts at 2 p.m.
I don't know, Hunter. We may have to go get a hotel and.
Oh, if it's just one bed and me and you together.
We have a hotel block we got for people, so it's like $55 off a night or something. So it's actually a pretty solid price if you're coming in from out of town. So
I'll show you my Pringles can. Once you pop, you can't stop.
You know the little Lunchable size Pringle cans?
Call that the Irish Pringle. So
I
last
got the
week,
Pringles and I'm ready to mingles.
Last week I announced I was going to give away copies of Combustible, so got great response. Some of you guys, you sent me some emails that just made me laugh until I almost farted. So I have picked 4 winners. 2 winners will get print copies because they live in the U.S. It's going to be Bry Guy and Justin Alessandro. Now, that name might sound familiar. He's the one who looked up Hunter Shea, but found Shea Hunter, who writes like trans erotica or whatever. So he gets a copy. And then outside the U.S., we've got Simon from South Africa and Damien in the UK. And people listen to us from all over the place, which is kind of scary.
How did you get all these names?
Remember last week I said, hey, if you want to win a copy, send me an email and tell me where you're from.
Oh, those 3 emails. Okay.
Yeah. So it was cool. So 4 copies. I just asked, give a review on Amazon. Please, not Goodreads. Nobody gives a shit about Goodreads reviews. But Amazon reviews are like gold.
Goodreads logged me out of my account. And then when I tried to log back in, I did forgot password. And all my email addresses, it's like, that doesn't exist. So I'm like, I can't get back into my Goodreads to.
Oh. Well.
So, but I don't care that much about it. So
they haven't changed that interface ever.
Know. It was shitty when I started using it like 10 years ago.
Yeah, I know.
And it's still shitty.
Let me ask you a question as authors. If I put your book on my list or review it, like, do you guys get notified of that, or do you just have to stumble upon it?
We have a dashboard that you could like go through all your reviews if you wanted to, but that's
on
the
Goodreads. Yeah, I couldn't tell you. I stopped using that a long time ago.
I just use it to track my books that I read.
Yep, yeah. I used to as well. Nope, I haven't logged in so long.
Although if I get logged out and can't get back in, well, that's the end of an era. Don't care.
So the other piece of news is that Hunter and I posted a new Monster Man the other day about bug horror movies with author Chris Miklos, who has a book called Tick Town.
That released today. Today it came out. I downloaded it on my Kindle because I had pre-ordered it.
So there's some fun there if you want to check that out.
Giant bug movies from the 50s through the 90s. Come on.
Even past the 90s.
I was a little concerned about that guy when he said, I was trying to figure out what podcast to promote, and you guys were top on my list.
He made that list in 2013.
Is this guy dumb?
He just wanted to get a couple of old altacockers to talk about ticks. That's us.
Seems like a cool guy, though. I'll have to read that book.
He was awesome.
Yeah. So with that, I think it's time for the drinking words.
There we go. I almost thought you were going to throw it to the news. All right, here's our words for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I better get ready. Have your drinks in hand. Duct tape 240s to your hands. Jack's words tonight are theater, Voldemort, and Boyle, as in Susan Boyle or Danny Boyle, not a boil on your ass. My words are Spike, Infected, and Chuck. Jason's are Jimmy, Sequel, and Murphy. Rando, which doesn't exist, so this is for everybody. Mother, Craven, and Temple.
Mother.
Bonus words are Alpha, Zombie, Bone, and I'm going to throw in Dong, Schwanz, Penis, Cock. It's all.
Member.
Thermos.
Schwartz.
Thermos. Baby's arm.
Dude, that was like an adult arm. That wasn't a baby's arm.
Yeah, that would be like a very big baby.
Okay. Now, it's time for the news.
It's the news. Yay.
Let's start off with the thing that'll piss you off the most.
Prequel.
Nope. Blumhouse.
Oh.
Blumhouse has bought the rights to the Saw franchise. So that means
saw that.
James Wan and Lee Winnell will be rejoining the Saw team. So this could be good news for Saw, or it could be bad news because those guys attached to Saw is good. Blumhouse,
It's kind of out of their comfort zone for movies now.
yeah.
I wonder what they'll do with it.
When was the last Saw movie? It was not long ago.
A couple of years
Was it
ago.
Spiral?
No,
Which
Saw
I-
X. wasn't
Saw
it?
X was 2023, late 2023.
Oh God.
And they just got the rights to it? Really? That movie was a hit, too. They must have paid a shitload of money for the
I
rights.
know. They've
Wow.
got to figure out how to do this franchise or whatever without the original guy.
Jigsaw, yeah.
Yeah, Jigsaw. They have to figure out, like, make him AI and just like, and he's like Zordon from the Power Rangers in a glass tube. You want to play a game?
That could work. Or just give it
God.
all to Shawnee Smith. Is she still alive in the series? Because I gave up after that.
I
don't
can't remember.
know.
They'll kill somebody off twice, and they still come back in another movie.
No
They're not-
interest.
They're better movies than I expected, but try following that timeline. Like, Jesus.
No thanks.
But they definitely want to get this into like a Final Destination. Like they every 2 years one of these comes out and it's a event, and it's like
Yeah.
they'll probably like it costs us 10 million to make, and we make 60 million or 100 million, whatever.
That's pretty much what they've done, right? They made 10 of these over 20 years.
Yeah, but they keep going. All right, this one now, like you were saying, the Saw 7 actually takes place between Saw 1 and 2. And
It's so insane.
It's like F you.
you got to watch the Chris Rock one with Sam Jackson.
Do I have to watch all the other ones before it to know what's going on?
I don't think it matters.
I watched them all in a row in order, and I was like, who? What? So I don't think it matters.
Okay. Oh, well.
On the good news front, switching over to Netflix, the bastards who constantly cancel things that we love,
Uh-huh.
Mindhunter could return as a 3 Netflix movie series.
Oh.
So they're talking about it now. David Fincher.
How is it cheaper than doing another season? It's almost the exact same length.
Maybe because they do them all at once. I don't know.
What? Okay. I mean,
You know what?
first
They
of all,
might make more off of, movie comes out on June 10th. They get a bunch of subscribers and people around that date. And then
maybe.
Wait
9 months
6
later,
months?
the next
This is
one.
the reason I freaking left Netflix. Who is making these decisions? God. But
I
I'm
think
glad they're bringing it back
ChatGPT.
because that was a great show. I loved that show. But them canceling it is one of the reasons I left. That was like one of the final straws. I was just done. So hopefully they do bring it back.
I have never met a person who didn't like that show.
It's so
And
good.
The
Yeah,
fact that
well,
they
It didn't fit into their algorithm of, how they make money. It's
I wonder
bizarre.
if... Yeah, because they only, at least I know as of a couple years ago, it was only if a show brought in new subscribers. It's like, yeah, but you canceling these shows has got to be losing you subscribers. I mean, it lost me.
You have to think, right? Almost
has
everyone
to.
I know has canceled Netflix.
Yeah, I just don't get it.
and these
Whatever.
streaming services, the stuff that they're putting out there as free content. I watched something this weekend that was with Bryce Dallas Howard and Orlando Bloom. They're like improv comics who end up like doing undercover police stuff.
Oh, God.
Deep Cover, they was called. Oh my God.
Ooh.
It was
Yeah,
horrible.
They have to make content, right? All these streaming services
Yeah.
are just dying for content. And all these
I have
actors are crying poverty and like there's no opportunity. I'm like, there's more opportunity than ever.
Yeah, there should be.
They just seem to forget about, like writing. The little
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, who cares?
We don't need that. Orlando Bloom was a name 20 years ago. Let's get him in a show.
They did a movie about improv comics and didn't have any actual funny people in it, except the one guy from Ted Lasso, the like shy coach guy who
Oh yeah,
he not exactly.
and it's great comics right now that you could put in, but God forbid.
Yeah. Just get the guys from Whose Line Is It Anyway in a movie. I'd watch that.
Okay. Get the guys who killed Tony.
It feels like the Netflix decision makers were the first use of AI, where they're like, it kind of understands the mechanics, but it screws it all up just a little bit. It feels like that's how Netflix is run.
That's perfect. It might be. ChatGPT might be the CEO and in charge of all programming.
He just goes to ChatGPT. Should I cancel the show? Yes. Okay.
Absolutely. Replace it with more real-life murders to get more middle-aged white women to watch. Good Lord.
The final piece of news is this one's for Jason. News on the Highlander reboot. We've got Henry Cavill already in the title role. Russell Crowe is going to be the Sean Connery.
Okay.
They're bringing it back again, that character?
Well, if it's a reboot, I'm guessing.
The reboot.
Just start over.
Oh. I'll just never forget the second one. His head is cut off.
magic.
It's magic, son.
Magic.
Let's go F yourself, Highlander.
So I'm hoping for like fat Russell Crowe on a moped following the Highlander around, like making him like train. He's like, faster, faster.
He'll be on a donkey like Don Quixote.
I'm really curious about this movie because I don't know how they managed to make a whole universe out of Highlander, because when you watch the first movie, as fun as it is, it doesn't make a lick of sense. I mean, the story is just catastrophically bad, but it's still
and it's
fun.
the one that makes the most sense.
It is. It's incredible that they have a series, and I don't know how many movies, 5? They got a ton.
Look,
nothing makes sense.
Is that the one with the Queen song?
Yes, the Queen did the soundtrack.
I want it all. Want it.
Who Wants to Live Forever? It's a Kind of Magic. I mean, the great soundtrack.
It's a Kind of Magic is in that?
Yeah, It's a Kind of Magic.
It's so long. I forgot.
Oh, yeah. I love that soundtrack. And I love that movie, but I don't like anything that's followed from it, so.
Wow. Okay. I'm really curious to see what do they play it straight? Do they try to fix the story? Or is it just like a cocaine movie like the original?
There's not enough cocaine around anymore. It's just fentanyl, so half the crew will be dead before
vaping.
They're just standing there hunched over.
Took too much.
And then just a quick shout out. We got shout out on Twitter today by Jack Finn, who listens to our show as he's driving home, apparently, on the West Coast. So I'm shouting out him for shouting out us on Twitter. Thanks, Jack Finn. You get the double bell.
Jack, you didn't make an award for him?
No award. I don't have any tinfoil.
I was going to say, did you run out of tinfoil and cardboard?
I moved. I don't have access to all my stuff.
That was a very nice shout out. I'm a little concerned that you write after listening to us. I don't know what we could be doing to the quality of your writing, but thank you.
I understand, because he's thinking, if these schmucks can write and publish books, I am going to be the next Stephen King.
Like that podcast that started because he's listening to us. Like, if they're doing it, I mean, I can do
it. These buffoons. So
this guy's going to write, and he's going to like look up at his writing and be like, chapter 10. Pringles can? What the hell was I thinking?
What? All of a sudden, his books just have a ton of dicks in them.
Subliminally destroying his career.
Then she reached for the spoiler bell.
Ding.
That, my friends, is all the news that's fit to print. Let's get to what we watched.
We have such sights to show you.
We have such sights to show you. And so, Hunter, please.
I get to go first?
You do.
I am so excited.
Jason always has to go first.
Yeah, I let him relax a little bit. Just
I
chill.
guess I do, huh?
Often.
Usually do. Last week I mentioned a Rudy Ray Moore movie that I thought was about vampires, and I was going to tell you to watch it. It's called Petey Wheatstraw.
I
It's the
have
best.
this. I've been saving it for so bad it's good.
It is the best thing I have watched all year. The best movie I've watched is not Sinners. It's not Companion. It's Petey Wheatstraw. And I only wish I watched this with like a group of like-minded people and there were drinks involved and stuff. This movie, it's not a vampire movie. It's a demon movie because he's Petey Wheatstraw, the devil's son-in-law. Rudy Ray Moore is
Son-in-law?
yeah, he's basically Dolomite. So he's the same character except he's Petey Wheatstraw. The very beginning, he does like this monologue dressed in this like satanic kind of like pimp suit. It's the greatest thing that's ever been written in film. You will piss yourself just listening to it. Then we cut to how is Petey Wheatstraw born? And the most comedic birthing scene ever with like this woman in his cabin. Her belly is about, it looks like she has a beluga whale in there. And they call in this white doctor to give birth. Here we go. That's the scene there. And she's thrashing on the bed. The doctor gets under the covers. First, he pulls out a watermelon. Everyone's screaming and running around. And then he starts pulling out the baby, which turns out to be a jive-talking 10-year-old boy who's going to beat the crap out of the doctor. Then the father comes in and he goes, "You're the mother effer that's been disturbing my sleep every night." And he's going to beat up the father. I'm like, all right, we've established the greatest origin story for a character ever. So cut to Dolomite, a.k.a. Petey Wheatstraw, who is an entertainer going around clubs. He's in the same club, I swear, that's in Dolomite. And
It looked the same in the images.
Yeah, it's got to be the exact same club. And turns out there are two guys. Oh, God, I can't remember that. Like Lester and Spoon. They're both from Sanford and Son. So if those of you who watch that show will recognize half this cast.
It's like Rollo.
Yeah, they're two fat club owners who owe Petey Wheatstraw money. That's them right there.
That's like Bubba from
Bubba and Al Sharpton. So they decide they're never going to pay him back. So they're just going to have him, they're going to scare him off. So they accidentally, one of their thugs murders a 10-year-old boy who's the brother of one of Petey's buddies. And as they go to the funeral and they're walking out of the funeral, these guys come out and just blast them full lead, kill everybody that's at the funeral. And you think, well, that was a good 10-minute movie. But no, here comes the devil who's going to offer Petey the chance to get revenge. So he brings everyone back from the dead. And Petey, all he has to do when he's done is marry his ugly ass daughter and give her a baby because he wants a son. And you don't see what she looks like, but whenever Petey looks at her face, he's like, "God damn, no way. Just let me die." But then he decides, no, I could try to outwit the devil. So it's two movies. It becomes Dolomite with Petey getting back at the guys who killed him and taken over, complete with the magic devil staff, which when he has it, it shakes and he makes crazy ass faces. I went from piss to shit myself laughing so hard at that. And then it becomes the bargain with the devil. The devil is his due. The devil has his due. And here come demons who are just guys with like some makeup splash on their face and horns taped to their heads. You can see the tape.
Oh my God.
And they run around in leotards and there's kung fu. Holy God.
Oh, his kung fu in these movies is the best.
That's about as fast as it goes. And just like Dolomite, he's rhyming. He's rhyming while he's kicking ass. It's superb. It's the best the 70s has ever had to offer us.
Sounds spectacular. I'm all over this.
It's on Prime. Catch it there. If you can watch it, a double feature with friends, Dolomite and Petey Wheatstraw, you will have literally the best 3 hours of your entire life.
Beautiful. This is the one I've been saving. I've done Dolomite. I've done The Disco Godfather. If you haven't seen that one by Rudy Ray Moore,
I love that one.
that one is really bad, like shockingly bad.
It's shockingly bad, but I still enjoy it. And what's the hurricane one? Damn it. There's a hurricane one. I forget what it's called. That was a blast. They're all fun.
Beautiful.
He's my hero.
I can't wait.
All right. That sounds spectacular. Jason, what you got?
Well, I watched a movie because it was listed under horror, and after watching it, it is not. And it's called Snakeeater. Not only is it not horror, it's the only genre listed. It's not. This is like a slow burn mystery thriller. But because of the way the ending goes, I think they try to call it horror, and it's just not. There are no scares. There's no violence or gore. It's a mystery. It's a private investigator. At the very beginning is him waking up on a train in the subway. And then he goes to meet a client who is hiring him to look into possible insurance fraud. And it's him trying to uncover the mystery of the insurance fraud. And kind of weird things happen. It's a lot of talking. It's not a bad movie. It's not horror. So I'm not going to go into it too much here just because this is not for our audience. I watched it to talk to you guys about it, and it's not horror. So it is mislabeled.
Worst.
So, that shit drives me crazy.
Well, they name like Snakeeater. It should be. They should work harder to make it horror.
Yes. Even calling it a thriller, I don't even think I'd go that far.
I've seen Snakeeater videos, but that's way different. So I don't know.
This was definitely less thrilling.
There should be somewhere you can go to complain and say, you mislabeled this movie, schmuck.
Yeah, for real. I hate when that happens. Drama, mystery. I would call it a mystery drama. It's not even a
Snakeeater.
Damn you!
So there you go. If you're looking for a horror movie, don't pick that.
No.
Well,
get Petey Wheatstraw.
I went to the theater twice this week.
Whoa.
No way.
Because there was another movie that I really wanted to see called The Life of Chuck, which is
Chuck Tingle?
Mike Flanagan doing a Stephen King novella or short story.
What?
Yes.
I didn't even hear that this is out.
Mike Flanagan has a movie out, and I didn't know this?
Mike Flanagan has a movie out with, let me name off some of the people.
Blown
Tom
away.
Hiddleston, Karen Gillan, Mia Sara, Katie Siegel, Jacob Tremblay, Mark Hamill. Nick Offerman is a narrator in it.
What?
I can't pronounce his name, but the bad guy from Serenity, Chiwetel Ejiofor.
You nailed it.
Chiwetel. He is awesome.
Chiwetel.
I just can't. But he's awesome. I love that guy.
Wow.
This is not a horror movie either, but it is a Stephen King story written and directed for the screen by Mike Flanagan. And there is a sort of, there's a spritzing of supernatural and a little bit of sci-fi-ish air to this thing. So horror fans are definitely going to love this movie. Well, not love it, but appreciate it. I think a lot of people are going to love this movie, and some people are not going to be able to understand. It might take them some time to digest it.
Right.
I love this movie. It's a 3-act story about the life of this guy, Chuck. And I'll only give away a little bit in that it's told in reverse order. And so you see him. What?
I hear people when you do that. Oh, it's so confusing.
It's like a bittersweet thing. There's like really funny and uplifting things, and there's because it deals with life and death. So there's some really poignant and kind of heartstring tugging what Mike Flanagan is so good at doing. So it's going to hit you in the feels, and there's a lot to make you smile in this movie. and the performances are amazing. Tom Hiddleston might be in it a little less than you think, based on the posters and things like that. But he's still in it plenty. I don't want to tell you too much about it to just say it is a feel-good, uplifting, poignant movie. Well written, well acted. The kid who plays Chuck is unbelievable in it, and I loved the movie. So
It's not playing anywhere near me either.
I highly recommend it. But again, some people are going to go into this and be like, "What the hell was that?" Or this, I was expecting a horror movie, or maybe this hit me in the feels. I'm in a different place in life than other people are. It got me, and I love Flanagan's work. So for me, it's 2 thumbs up, dog.
How have I never heard of this?
Me either.
What the hell?
Did either of you read it was in that the short story ones, I think, that has like Mr. Flanagan's Phone or whatever it was called.
Yeah, I read that. Yeah, I don't remember the story at all, but I did read that book. Huh.
I'm just gonna wait for The Long Walk for a Stephen King movie, which is coming soon.
Hunter, I actually think you're gonna like this one a lot.
I probably will. I just, I don't feel
I'm
like
sure it'll
driving
be
out of
on
state to watch
streaming
it.
in a couple of weeks.
It sounds
Yeah.
like it's that kind of thing.
Yeah, there's no way this didn't get a wide release. It seems so.
Yeah, I had to. It was playing in one theater, and there was less. Like 28 weeks later, I could have went to 4 different theaters and picked anytime I wanted. This one was like, I had 3 choices.
Yeah, this has one near me, and it's playing at 2 p.m, and once a little later. That's it. So,
Jeez.
all right. Well, yeah, we'll see it in 3 weeks on Hulu or something.
I hope so.
Wow, nice find. I had no freaking clue. Mike Flanagan.
Flanagan, the man is good.
We do this for a living. How did this fly under the radar?
I don't know. Maybe because I stopped following Stephen King like 6 years ago.
Didn't fall under my radar. My radar.
4.6 million at the box office.
I saw a bogey and I tracked it, baby.
You did, man.
You plugged into the Matrix, man.
I'm impressed.
That's right, Mr. Anderson. All right. I think we're back to Hunter.
Yeah. All right. So a few weeks ago, I talked about the book Europa by Greg Beck, who now Jason and I are just addicted to his
Europa
books.
mention.
Europa. So there's a movie from over 10 years ago called Europa Report.
I've heard of that.
Which is a good companion piece to Europa. But the book, which came later, is not a ripoff of the first. They're all kind of playing on this theme that was established by Arthur C. Clarke many, many years ago. But in this movie, and I was really shocked by how well the effects were done. It's a group of 6 people who are going to Europa, one of Jupiter's moons, to search for life. There we go. Your basic concept right there. I'm going to tell you, this isn't like this Rock'em Sock'em monster movie, so don't expect that you're going to get that with this.
Yeah, I don't remember this even being a horror movie, to be honest.
Enough elements in it to be a horror movie. It's very much sci-fi. If you're an astronaut, don't watch this movie because you're just going to probably want to quit because it's literally like everything that can go wrong in space on a ship. It looked superb. It's kind of like maybe the person who did Godzilla -0, maybe they grabbed one of those people who, from this movie. I loved it as a space movie. I love that claustrophobia kind of you're out in the middle of nowhere thing. So any movie like that, I'm already in. But when it's done this well, I'm super in, and it really keeps you guessing about what the hell's actually going on here. Is this horror? Is this true horror? Is this funny horror? Is this monster horror? I'm not going to give it away because it's really worth watching. I think I watched it on Amazon Prime. But yeah, if you liked Europa, the movie, I think you're going to love Europa Report. And if you like space stuff, which I do.
You hadn't seen this before?
I hadn't. I remember hearing about it. I think Bloody Good Horror was the way that podcast was the first time I heard about the movie, but I just never pulled the trigger.
Yeah, I watched this like back when it came out, and I just remember being like, "That's not really a horror movie," but I don't even remember what happens in it.
Then you might be wrong.
All right, maybe I'll go back to it.
It's worth the revisit. I mean, you just read Beck's book, so that fun is fresh in your head.
That's true. I'm in a Europa frame of mind right now.
Right now, I'm reading Primordia by him, so I'm into like the Lost World.
So every week we get Europa and dongs.
It's amazing.
They have big dicks on Europa.
Imagine it's just a moon of dicks.
It's just a bunch of Samsons there on Europa.
It's like from 2001. There's just one big Pringles can.
It's
a bunch of
it's not a
alphas.
monolith. Giant friggin' rock hard dong.
All right, my turn.
Yep.
I watched a movie on Shudder called The Surrender, which is a Shudder original. I just happened to log into Shudder. I was looking for something to watch. This was there, so I thought, "What the hell? Let's check it out."
This was there.
This was there. It was on the featured. You know, they have like 4.
Yeah, I've heard about this one.
Yeah, so I thought, all right, let's check it out. It's about a mother and daughter, more the mother, who her husband is dying, and when the daughter comes to help, she sees there are all these little witchcraft things around, like I don't know, like figurines that she's made out of sticks and shit like that, and there's a little bag of teeth under the bed of the dying husband.
Blair Witchy.
Yeah, and she's like, "Mom, like, what the hell are you doing?" And her mom's like, "No, my friend so-and-so told me this would work." And then as the father's health gets worse, the wife starts doing more stuff, and they kind of devolves from there into kind of ritualistic stuff. This is a movie about these two women, mother and daughter, bickering at each other for an hour. That is, this is their relationship. It's awful. They kind of hate each other. They blame each other for everything, and they're arguing over what to do. Oh, these are just all crew photos. They're arguing over what to do with the father, what to do with his body, what to do when he's sick, like how much medicine should we give him, blah, blah, blah. It's a lot of bickering. It's a lot of bickering.
Trigger.
I want to say 20 minutes in, I said to Aaron, I was like, I think a woman wrote this, because their hatred and their interactions with each other felt very authentic. And it was written and directed by a woman.
She's working through some stuff.
Now that made Aaron not like that part of the movie in particular, because she cannot stand romance in movies or women bickering with each other in movies. It just drives her crazy.
Wow. She doesn't like romance.
No, if there's a lot of romance in a movie, she hates it.
Well, she married the right guy.
She did. I had never had to watch romance in my life. It's great. What makes this movie fun and interesting and makes me actually really like it is the last act is completely different and bonkers. Once this dude shows up at the house, the movie just takes a sharp left turn and has phenomenal visuals, particularly for a movie this small that's shot almost entirely in a house. I want to compare it to
a butterfly.
A Dark Song.
Oh,
yeah.
It doesn't have the buildup of a Dark Song because it's just bickering. A lot of bickering, but the end is very a Dark Song, and it's totally worth a watch. I'd love to know what you guys think of this. I thought it was a very well-made movie. Just, if you have a sister and a mom who would argue a lot, I don't know if this would be a little too close to home or not, but I didn't grow up with that, so it's just like, wow, they really don't like each other.
See, I grew up Irish. You just put those feelings down, sink it deep inside, never speak of it, and just drink it all away.
There's a lot of bickering. Like, they fight, the daughter goes to leave, she decides against it, they come back, they're nice for 5 minutes, then they start fighting, daughter goes to leave. It's like, holy shit, man.
It's like, it's like my wife's Italian family, so it'll feel very much at home for my wife.
It's a movie about their relationship. That's what it's about. It just has this great ending that still utilizes that.
I don't want to sit through the first part of this, but I really want to see that last act.
It's worth it. It's worth it. I really liked it. So it's not overly long. It doesn't overstay its welcome. So
All right.
Very low budget, but what they do at the end with no money is very impressive.
Sticks the landing.
Yeah. Yeah, it did.
No dongs.
Dong free, baby.
Dong free.
I was feeling good till I went to the movies.
Dong free.
Free. I was thinking the same thing. God almighty. Release the dongs.
Well, it's almost summer. When's the first day of summer? It's like
It's summer, dude.
Yeah.
We're in it.
So I saw a thumbnail on Amazon Prime for shark warning with an exclamation point in the title.
Oh, God.
And I said, this movie is going to be awful. It's my obligation to watch this piece of crap for the show. So I think it was Sunday night, maybe last night. Maybe I think very recently I watched this movie. And yeah, it lived up to my expectations. This one, it's like 20 years ago, and we're in a lake, like in Arizona, that has a dam. And these two kids are at the beach at the lake. And they are attacked by a great white shark
at the
in
lake?
the lake in Arizona. Because somehow this great white shark made its way all the way to the dam and in, somehow got in. And one of the kids is killed. And then we fast forward like 20 years, and now the brother has come back to the lake, and he's all traumatized from his experience with the shark. We've never seen this before in any shark movie.
Nope.
And he reunites with different people.
Now, the shark.
Meanwhile, the lake is famous for a fishing tournament every year, but lately the fishing tournaments and fishing in general there has been not as good because there's just less and less fish.
I wonder
because
why.
the dam is preventing fish from getting in or something like that. So the mayor, who depends on the summer dollars,
Oh, for God's sake.
and the fishing tournament, hires a guy to blow up a small hole in the dam to allow fish in, but it allows another shark in.
Oh my God.
Or there might have somehow a shark got in. Anyway, we're back to people had boats and cameras at a lake in Arizona and said, hey, my friend Eddie is really good with computers and can look at the shark stuff he can do. We should make a movie. Yeah, well, that's not sharks, though, in fresh water. You know what?
Semantics.
So you got yourself your, typical dyed-in-the-wool bad shark movie. The payoff on this is that the shark scenes are the over-the-top, goofy, like CG things that if you're going to watch it, that you get enough of those to keep you, you could be like looking at your phone and then look up for that. Whatever.
Wow.
And there's like a very Sharknado-y looking scene where like the shark often comes up to the boat and like pulls somebody off of it. They Sam Jackson a lot of people just like it's. If you're into bad shark movies or a glutton for punishment, shark warning.
That's you, my friend. You are into bad shark movies and a glutton for punishment.
It was done by the Asylum, so
that's
that
how
was
you know.
first.
The whole mayor thing. I mean, you could probably hear the smack on my forehead.
Just shameless.
Yep.
Shameless and artless.
There's a movie on Netflix, Under Paris, that I watched that was like the same exact thing. There was like a big swimming race or something, and they were like, we need it was like the politician who had the.
I need to say, I'm so traumatized by how many dicks I've been seeing in movies. I actually forgot. Thank God Aaron is in here. There were dicks in The Surrender.
Get out of
Oh.
here.
I forgot there are dicks in one scene, more than one.
Oh my
What
God.
is happening? It's a conspiracy.
Dude, this is going to turn you gay. I see it happening right now.
I've seen so many that now they're like becoming invisible in the movie to me.
Once you pop, you can't stop.
Next week, Jay's going to be like, welcome to Final Guys.
The final dicks.
Who got naked this week?
Rain and Men on Final Guys.
I hope that Mithrigan has a robot friggin' strap on that she kills the other android with. Oh, one could dream.
It looks like they're modifying her a lot in the trailer. Maybe she'll have like a dick arm attachment or something.
Shoot, dude, she could.
Remember that robot in the Star Wars movie that had that would cough and he had like 20 lightsabers?
Yeah.
Mithrigan's going to be like that, but it's like schlongs.
Edward Penis hands.
Yeah. Is that everything?
That's, dude. That's everything.
I'm done.
Time for the main feature.
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
I don't know.
You have to have a favorite. What comes to mind?
All right.
Woo. This is a
28
movie.
years later. The follow-up to 28 weeks later, which was the sequel to 28 days later.
We'll never know what happened in the months in between.
We never will. So, who would like to wait?
Bell. You want to rate it? Deep Blue Sea, 1999, underrated, or overrated. SBIG, just a fun time. What do you each think?
I don't think that movie is underrated because most people will list that as the second best shark movie.
Where I think it's overrated in that respect. I don't think it's the second best.
But you are like one person, like the masses.
The masses. I'll kick their asses.
I think it's SBIG. I think that movie is hilarious in unintentional ways. When he's like preparing to dodge the shark in the water, that kills me every time. I think that movie's hilarious.
I agree with that. That's what makes that movie. That movie is so fun because it's ridiculous.
Yep.
Oh, it's fun. Absolutely. But I think it's too elevated for some people. Like, come on, take it back a notch.
But I also would say, I also agree that I think it's probably the second best shark movie.
Wow.
Come on, Jack. We've watched The Shallows.
I don't like The Shallows.
Are you kidding me? Well, now just because she's in a fight.
No, I like looking at Blake Lively, but the second half of that movie is a cartoon.
Well, yeah, like most shark movies.
Like Deep Blue Sea?
Yeah, but
there we go.
It's not as fun.
I can't say it's the second best when Jaws 4 exists.
Well, I'm saying after anything Jaws.
Okay, all right. Then there's a discussion.
Shark Night.
I'm just because specifically, I know he loves The Shallows, and I'm like,
I do.
Shallows is okay.
I like seagulls. I don't get to see much seagull stuff. So anyway, 28 years later, spoiler alert, this takes place 28 years after the initial rage virus has swept the countryside.
Should have said spoiler alert after or before that.
Too bad.
Just gave it away.
Too bad. We'll ring the bell for true spoilers. So, this all takes place in this little island off the coast of Scotland. There is now a quarantine zone. So, mainland Europe is mostly just contained in there's this area, and whoever decides to stay there, you're trapped because they don't want you stepping back on terra firma. They don't want you there because there's a potential you might be a little ragey. So, a whole kind of like village has popped up, and they're pretty much self-sufficient. And this movie stars Jodie Comer from Killing Eve, she's so spectacular. I've said for years she should be in every single thing play movie TV show. Just find a role.
Did you
for
see
her.
the Banshees of I forget the town of in the Sorrow with the
Oh.
Colin Farrell?
No, is she in that?
She's in that. You should watch that, Irish boy.
Yeah, I want to. That's on my list now. So anyway, this centers around this family, husband, wife, and their, what was he, 12 years old, 12-year-old son. And she's sick, and she's bedridden, and she's having moments of clarity and not clarity. And it's the whole thing starts with dad's going to take his son out and make him a man. This is like, you go on your first hunting trip. I'm sure, Jason, you guys did that out in the holler. And you go out and you bag your first deer or whatever. In this case, it's going to bag your first rage virus victim. So
It's basically the exact same thing.
I'm pretty sure there's not much of a difference, including with fat yokels wandering around on the ground, flopping their way towards you slowly.
It does remind me of home.
I need more Burger King. Yeah, so he takes him out there to make him a man, and things start to kind of spiral from there in typical fun 28 put your time period later fashion.
All right. So what did you think of it?
No zombie movie, and you could question whether this is a zombie movie or not, but to me, the people walking around were more zombie than in the past movies. Some of them were they looked clearly dead, but no movie like this should make me cry. I freaking cried in this stupid movie. In fact, the whole theater, dude, my whole theater was crying. All you heard. I thought this movie was spectacular.
I was so happy to see the naked guy.
Wow. How could you not cry at the glory, glory, hallelujah flopping between his legs and smacking him right in the chin when he's running?
You're like Sam Jackson in Unbreakable, where you're just looking for the opposite of you and you finally see it with Samson's giant dick.
That's the best thing I've heard all night.
You mean you don't have to trim all your pubic hair just to see it? I really thought this movie was spectacular. It's a very different vibe than the previous two movies, but the heart of what's going on in this movie, the heart of the boy and his family, and then you get these moments of extreme tension, and you get, to me, one of the saddest moments in all of zombie movie history, and we'll discuss it later in spoilers. But I thought it was fantastic.
All right, Jason.
I liked it.
Oh,
I didn't love it.
Too much penis.
I thought the ending was stupid as shit. I didn't like the weird intercutting of random footage. It's a very Danny Boyle movie where it's like a crackhead edited the movie. It's very
like showing us like scenes from Ivanhoe or something. It was weird.
This is weird. I liked it. I didn't love it. I think the writing, I don't want to say the writing was bad because what's his name who wrote it? Goddamn.
Garland.
Yeah,
Garland.
I think he's a phenomenal writer. So I know there's a sequel that's already shot that is coming out in 6 or 7
January.
months.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming all the shit I'm going to bitch about in spoilers with the writing, I'm hoping will be fixed in the sequel, which will make me like this movie more. But if this was just standalone, and I did not know there was a sequel until I got out of the theater, and I was like, "What the?"
There's 2 more coming.
Well, yeah. Definitely a second. The third
Definitely
has not been greenlit yet, but it's planned.
This made $60 million in the first weekend. Covered its entire nut. There's more.
I'm curious. I could see this movie being very polarizing. I think I have not looked this up, so I don't know. I could see critics loving it, and I could see normies going to the theater because they like the first one and being like, "This is a piece of shit." It felt like 3 movies in one. I mean, we got 3 distinct stories in this. It's weird. It's one of the few movies that the further away from it I get, the less I kind of like it, but not by a lot. This is going to be one of those where I say I like the movie and I spend the rest of the time bitching about the stuff I didn't like. So, yeah.
I've seen a lot of people bitching about this movie on social media.
You're about to see one more.
I get it. I do get it, but I was rolling with it. So
I wouldn't argue with anybody who loves this or hates this. I think that's valid either way. It is weird.
I would land on the Jason side of things pretty closely. I liked it. It's better than a lot of other stuff I saw this year. Third favorite in the
trilogy.
It lacks the intensity of the first two movies, which is really what I was going for. That opening scene in the second one, there's so many just like moments of just pure terror in those that they never really matched in this one. There were some exciting parts and things like that,
which the trailer promised and did not deliver on, which is bullshit.
And the opening scene in this didn't really
horrendous.
I didn't think it ever got to the level of the first two movies. Wow. And part of it was kind of felt like a retread of it a little bit. But again, I enjoyed it. Then it takes a shift. There's a definite middle part there that kind of changes gears and it becomes a different movie. And there's a lot of interesting and thoughtful things going on there. I think if you've watched The Last of Us, there's some stuff going on here that you're like, okay, it seems like they watched The Last of Us and then wrote this movie.
Right.
But there was a lot to like. The kid was amazing in it. The ending is weird. Yeah. And Jason, you hit it right on the head. I said, I like this movie. And again, as I said, more than a lot of other stuff I've seen this year, but potentially I could like it more or less based on the next one. It's like the movie Joker. Oh, that was okay. And then I saw the sequel and was like, now I hate both movies.
Erased all that goodwill.
But also it could be like, oh, wow. So this was chapter 1 and they really, took it to the next level in chapter 2. That's great. If they fumble the ball, I have faith in these guys though, too. So I think
exactly. Alex Garland is a great writer. So I'm hoping a lot of stuff is fixed in the sequel.
All right, so I would definitely recommend it. You guys we can probably get right to spoilers, right?
Yeah. Highly look, if you're a horror fan, you got to watch it.
Yeah, it's one of these things people are going to be talking about all year. It's going to make a ton of money. It's going to be popular. I'm curious what everybody thinks of it. I couldn't wait as soon as I left the theater to hear what you guys thought, because I was like, this is going to be polarizing as hell.
I think the thing is, like, if you're listening to this and you haven't seen it, be ready for and it's kind of refreshing in a way. They're not retreading the first two movies. So there's, you don't even really need to see the first two movies to watch this.
Nope.
So
it explains what's happening at the beginning and that's it.
So and you talk about intensity. I don't think there could be the same amount of intensity because now this is 28 years later, confined to a certain area. How many more ragers can there possibly be? It's a limited population.
Yeah, I guess when it's called 28 days later, 28 weeks later, 28 years later, you're expecting a similar movie, and that is not what we got.
Yeah, you can't get similar.
I have an example, but I'll wait for spoilers. Let's want to get the spoilers.
Yeah,
sure. All right, if you haven't seen the movie Take Off, go see it. It's worth seeing. Good stuff. Like I said, it's better than a lot of other stuff that came.
Embrace the dong, according to
and what Hunter says, I will appreciate a lot of the stuff that you loved about this movie, and I think that if somebody's on the fence about seeing this, what you say may sway them even more to go see it, as long as they're not taken off guard by how different it is. Then, spoiler wise, with the intensity, this one had less of like somebody getting infected in front of you. So I remember in the first one when the father gets the drop in the eye.
Oh, that's a great scene.
Yes.
That's my favorite scene in the whole movie. And then, there's many examples of like somebody in your party getting infected. And the beauty of these movies is how quickly somebody turns and how you have to get the hell away from them. And
it's so many. Like everywhere you turn.
Yeah. And then this one also had some special effects that were kind of like the gas,
Gas station.
Yeah.
Jesus, what a stupid ass scene that was.
Remember in the Return of the King when they show like Sauron's tower and it looks like a lighthouse?
Yeah.
And basically that's because when you read the book, like they're talking about the Eye of Sauron, they wanted to make sure you understood that Sauron was looking for Frodo. Like that was like Lord of the Rings for dummies. Okay, we're gonna make it a lighthouse. So they like
Right.
This was like, we're gonna make sure people understand that there's gas in here. So we're gonna show it. And,
Yeah, typically gas does not show up like fog. I get that.
Nor when
and
it
then-
explodes, does it only stay like about 3 feet
Yeah.
up?
Just above you.
Come
and then
on,
even
man.
like the scene with the water, what do you call that? The causeway, whatever
That land bridge or whatever.
The land bridge, like night. Some of that was a little bit. That nighttime stuff looked a little soundstage.
that.
It was a little green screeny.
It was when they were running in the water from the distant shots.
Yeah.
The splashing looked really bad. I know they wanted you to be able to see where they were, but just the CG I thought looked like shit.
Yeah.
I'm
I think-
nitpicking. Otherwise, I thought the movie looked phenomenal. I did not know it was shot on freaking iPhones. Which
Yeah.
is mind-blowing.
Wait, it really was?
Yeah.
iPhones and action cams.
So they had a real like guerrilla feel to it.
Yeah. Which is great because the first movie kind of looks like shit because it was shot on a digital camera at the time. So I like that they continued that here. They're not using Reds or whatever the hell there are. They're using
Damn.
really consumer stuff.
All right, I'm impressed there.
Yeah, they had rigs for the cameras. So they weren't just like pulling their phone out of their pocket.
The very beginning of this movie, like talk about setting the stakes. We're gonna put 10 little kids watching Teletubbies,
Yes.
just slaughter them.
Yeah.
Like when that happens, you're like, all right, anything's possible. Everyone's expendable.
So the intensity that they show in the trailer is what you get in about the first 10 minutes. And then it just kind of goes away. And it's like, it felt like false advertising to me a little bit. Not going to lie. I'm glad that they didn't spoil stuff for once.
Right.
But the movie that they advertised is not what we got.
So that scene, the scene with the kids and the Teletubby thing, that was like everything that I was like, yes. Then they ran to the church. And that I felt was like, okay, this feels like they're rehashing some stuff we saw in the first movie.
Well, it is the first movie. Because, right, that's 28
It's the
years
same
before
timeline.
this.
Yeah.
So there's a church scene.
Oh, I forgot about that. I haven't seen that movie in so long.
Totally forgot that too.
Totally forgot about that.
I dug it. I will tell you, the scene that got me was when the son he discovers his dad's banging some girl on the side while his mother's suffering and obviously ill. And the son, who has now proven himself to be a man, decides to threaten his dad, take his mom, and they've heard that there's a doctor who was a general practitioner 30 years ago, and take her to the mainland to find him to see if he can cure her, which I loved that part of the movie. Ray Fiennes, I thought was amazing. It's so bizarre. Like Dr. Moreau.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
It's
But
so
just
weird.
Think how weird you would end up being spending 3 decades burning bodies and killing. I don't know. It's just, you got to be out of your mind by then.
Why doesn't he kill the alpha?
I have no idea.
Yes.
I think maybe he wants the alpha to keep banging other dead people. I don't know.
Do you think he's doing some kind of weird experiments out there or something?
There is an experiment going on that I think we'll find out later. There's a grand design to what he's doing. We just don't get it here.
Well, the sequel is called The Bone Temple.
Oh.
Which that could just be another male nudity reference. I don't know.
Dude, this is the boner temple for sure. But
was I the only one who was like, did he actually kill her?
yeah.
He did.
That was
We didn't see it.
Well,
We saw a skull.
yes, true. You could bring her back if you want to cheapen the whole thing. But
I only thought of it because of why didn't he kill the alpha? I was very confused by some
Well,
of his decision making.
I thought he killed her out of mercy.
I did too.
And that he maybe he kept the alpha alive because he feels like life is precious, and
He's even given it a name. Made me think of Bud or Bub, from Day of the Dead. Yeah. But yeah, when he dosed the kid and the mom says goodbye and he brings back the skull, there was not a dry eye in the theater. I just heard everybody around me was crying.
See, when he comes back and puts the skull in front of the kid, I'm like, what the fuck? That's his mom's skull.
It's a different world, man.
She's been dead for 8 minutes. I thought that was
careful. That's still warm.
I thought that was ridiculous. I was like, what the fuck, dude?
He
just trekked with his mom to try to save her life. They drug him, kill her. Here's her skull. Like he did. It was like so crazy.
I guarantee you, if a doctor handed me a skull and was like, put this in a special place, and I climbed to the top of a bone tower, I would definitely knock it over like a friggin' Jenga thing and be like, I'm so sorry. I'm going to go now.
I thought the same thing. I said, if that was me, I'd either fall before I got the skull on the top, or I'd somehow knock everything over. And that would be the end of that poignant moment.
I like while he's talking to me, I would just accidentally back into it and hit it with my elbow.
Yeah, so I don't think we get the full story of what's going on, why he's saving the alpha males.
There's something going on. Even the structure he made, like all the femurs and stuff.
Yeah,
there's something going on with this dude. I don't think he's just as normal as he's putting out there. Because also, the village, they go and they see this guy gathering bodies and burning them, and they're just like, oh, we're running away from him. And in 28 years, they have never gone back to look. Again, either this is shitty writing, or it's Alex Garland, and there's going to be a lot explained in the sequel.
Or it's also he's deep in, and I think maybe their whole thing is about survival, and there's no reason to go out there. They're subsistence farmers and everything, so they seem to be fine. There's no reason to risk your life to go out there.
I mean, they're getting booze and bringing it back, so you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's not just the essentials. He took his son out there to shoot some zombies. Like, you could do that and also shoot a deer and bring it back, you know? Like,
I did appreciate that he was they would run out of arrows and they weren't reusing them because the blood is so dangerous.
Yeah.
So, you know, usually in movies like this, it's like Legolas and you just keep...
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which was something that I thought took away some of the tension is what's his name? Taylor Johnson. What the hell's his name?
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
He turns into Legolas when they're running through the woods. He's just full sprint, turns, and with a simple bow is just smashing these things. In the first movie, when you were being chased, that was a wrap. Like, you're not getting away. Or you have to, like, get on a boat, or, like... In this, was just like, oh, I've got 10 arrows in my quiver. Like, we're okay.
He's got 28 years of experience.
What are those zombies eating to get that fat?
A lot of worms. A lot of worms.
Oh, my God. What? Yeah, they've introduced a new genus, several new genuses of rage virus. The slow, fat, belly-crawling slug people. Big dick alphas. Fucking heavy-breasted, pregnant, crazy zombie women.
Yeah, let's talk about the pregnant zombie, because that's where the whole thing is like, okay, where are we going with this? Is this going to be is this going to lead to a cure? You know, you've got an uninfected baby from a infected
Is it Ralph
mother.
Fiennes?
With the magic of the placenta.
Is this him experimenting? Because he sees the baby and is not at all shocked that a uninfected baby comes out of an infected. He's like not surprised at all.
And he doesn't kill the alpha, so there's got to be something.
He's doing, and he's that dick on that alpha. He's like, no, that's my bull.
I need that.
Or maybe he's the one that impregnated the rage virus girl.
Something.
But he needs the alpha around to protect her.
I think the alpha was trying to get at him in that cage because of the baby. I think that was the alpha.
I was thinking that too. I was like, is he protecting the baby? Was he?
Yeah.
Does he have a fatherly
Yeah, so I think Fiends is up to something. So there's a lot of little shit in it that was annoying me. Like, oh, there's a patrol boat out there going around our island. It must be the French. And then a Swedish dude shows up. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how hard would it be to just make it the French boat that just like what the hell?
I thought the same thing. I was like,
What
why
the
isn't he French?
Why is
Wow,
he
you
French?
guys are picking. Oh wow,
Come
That's
on.
never even occurred to me.
And then, okay, they're in quarantine. Nobody can get off the island because this infection is so crazy. Totally get that. We can't take a helicopter over and just drop some radios down? You know, like, no? Nothing?
No,
Nothing?
why bother?
28 years? This dude's talking about being a delivery driver. We can't get Amazon to just drop ship some...
Because they're deplorables, Jason.
Oh, okay.
They're Scottish people. Nobody gives a shit about the Scots.
That is fair.
Take it from an Irish guy. That's a horrible thing to say. But for some reason, they're tainted. So the world really doesn't give a crap about them. Let them go live and kill
really
their hogs and live in rags.
They really don't.
At the end of the movie, the kid brings the baby back to the island, and then he decides, I'm 14 now. I'm going to go off and be a man.
Nutty
and he
decision.
meets up with the ABBA sweatsuit mafia.
This is where I see a lot of people are jumping off.
I was pissed at this. I shouldn't even say pissed. I was just like, why? Why? You have this drama, this mom and her son have this moment, and then he has to play with her skull. And then ninjas show up in like Russian, like what are they called? Tracksuits.
Dude,
They look like a pub crawl for the blonde-haired guy in Die Hard, the bad guy.
you want to feel the stakes being up for the sequel? A friend of mine looked into those characters. They are made to look exactly like an infamous British pedophile.
Yeah, who was on TV. I saw that.
So this kid has just dropped himself into Epstein Island.
So this is why I keep holding on to this. Alex Garland wrote this. What kind of symbolism is in this that I'm not getting as well?
That blonde guy is the kid from the church at the beginning of the movie.
Yes.
And he's got an upside down cross, which I've seen referenced as, is that satanic or is that Peter who was crucified
upside down? Yeah.
Upside down. So who knows what that upside down? When I saw it, I was like, oh, because I'm just thinking Dracula movies. I'm like, oh, he's bad news.
Look, when they're doing their karate ninja stuff, I did think of Dead Alive with the priest. I kick ass for the Lord. I straight up thought that. I said, this is for such a serious-minded movie. There were some really silly parts or whatever, but it's a pretty serious-minded movie. To end it on ninja tracksuit wearing blonde pedophile dudes is so out there.
Literally doing flips over the infected. The rage monsters from the first two movies. They're just doing flips over them and stabbing them. It's like, okay, so now we're not scared of these things at all anymore. Because these dorks with golf clubs just beat up a herd of them, like a whole pack. I don't know. That was a decision.
I'm not sure.
One thing that went through my head was, okay, so you had a French boat. You had, what was that guy? Swedish? The other soldier?
Yeah, I saw somebody called him PewDiePie.
You had those guys in the sweatsuits. So I was like, okay, so next movie is going to introduce us to the wider world. Because there's clearly people who have technology. It's like that Samara Weaving movie where you think they're in a world with no technology and stuff, and then suddenly a dude pulls up in a pickup truck.
Yep.
So
I can't wait for the sequel.
I'm honestly kind of excited, even though I just said I'm going to bitch about this. I'm kind of excited because I want to see what's going to happen. But that ending really sucked balls. And I'm finding out that I honestly wish they weren't telling people what they were doing, because I've already found out a little bit of a spoiler for
me too.
The next movie that is I did not want to know, and finding out that the guys at the end look like that pedophile. That's obviously they're not going to be good characters. You don't make them look like an infamous pedophile and then make them heroes. So like shit like that, like man,
this isn't a Hunter Shea novel.
Yeah, exactly.
I really wish they would just be quiet and stop talking to the press about this shit.
Maybe they're going to flip our expectations over. You never know.
Well, here is one giant reason to not be excited for the next one. Though it is written by Alex Garland, it is being directed by Nia DaCosta, which was a name I recognized but couldn't place. She directed the Candyman remake from a couple of years ago that was not good. And she directed The Marvels from last year.
Oh,
2 years ago,
my God.
which I did not see. I saw the trailer. The trailer looked horrific. So
I saw it.
was it bad?
Yes.
She's directing the sequel. That is not a good sign.
My alpha dong just went softer than a 7-month-old turnip in the rain. Oh.
Yeah, not a good sign. Alex Garland's writing it, so there's hope, but there's not a solid track record here for the director. So I guess we'll see.
Well, yeah, we'll see. I hope there is a pack of alphas in this movie. I want to see like flipping dong, like them running like a herd of elk at somebody.
That scene where Samson is chasing them and running, that shit is flopping so much it is out of control.
I thought that merkin has to be crazy glued onto his actual nards. Are there outtakes of it flipping and just flying right
For
off?
real.
The Sausage King of Scotland.
That I don't know who that actor is. He's going to get laid forever, and he's probably going to be disappointing women, but by that point, he doesn't care.
Yeah, exactly. Abe Froman is Sausage King 28 years later.
I want to see Dirk Diggler with the rage virus.
That's pretty much what it was.
Damn.
I swear there was one shot where they actually panned down to the dick so we could make sure we saw it.
They totally did.
It was just like, what? There's so many weird decisions in this, and highlighting that guy's monster dick was one of them.
But they did give us boobs. We finally got boobs. Dirty, infected boobs, but we finally got boobs.
We did get some
You know, I
boobs.
kind of appreciated the fact that it's 28 years into this thing. These people have been out in the wilderness. So the fact that they're not, Planet of the Apes, loincloths and stuff like that. These are just insane rage people. And so most of them are naked. Like that's how it would be. So.
Yeah, I like that.
How do they survive the winters? That's what I'm wondering.
Rage.
Straight rage.
I can relate.
Gonna rage bang you until it's spring. Let's make a real baby.
Oh, man. What a movie.
But it's a must watch as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, it really is. Even the music at the end. It got kind of weirdly playful when the fight started with the ninja guys. And then it turned into metal. I was like, what is going on?
It is jarring. The whole movie's jarring.
Yes, that's a great way to put it.
So Hunter, you don't have to, this isn't a permanent record kind of thing or something, but do you like this more than the original ones or?
I like the original ones better only because the tension. Like you just sit the whole time with your butthole so clenched you couldn't stick a pin through your asshole with a ball peen hammer. But
wow,
I did like that. I try. But there was a heart to this movie that I didn't get in the other movies. Like I said, it made me effing cry in public. Thank God it was dark, so nobody could see my shame.
Did you cry at some other movie recently?
I've been crying a lot lately, but in my house, I don't
you
get
need
it.
to see Life of Chuck.
I do now because I need a good cry, dude. I watch Parks and Rec all the time. Every time I get to the Leslie Knope wedding, I cry. Every freaking
Little
time.
Sebastian.
Bye bye, little Sebastian. Love.
Oh, I just thought of something before we go.
Yeah.
A reason I wish they would shut the hell up to the media. There's that zombie that looks like Cillian Murphy.
Yeah.
And they clearly did that on purpose so that we think he's dead. And then when I put in 28 years later sequel, the first article that pops up on Google is talking about Cillian Murphy being in the sequel.
Yeah.
Like, God damn it.
By the way, the person that was that zombie is one of the producers.
Wow.
Feed that motherfucker.
I really hope they did some serious CG on him.
I mean, he looks awful.
Yeah, and Hunter, for the nitpicking that at least I'm doing on this movie, this is still in the top movies for the year for me. Like I
Oh,
said,
hell
it's better than a lot of the other stuff I've seen. So while I'm like, the thing is, like when I walked out of the second one, I was blown away by how much I love that movie. That's the
Oh.
only one I own.
Me too, by the way.
And I like the first one. The third act of the first one doesn't light my fire as much as the rest of it.
I actually think it's good. I just think they peaked in the second act. I feel like the intensity of the father and all that, like you weren't going to beat that for the rest of the movie.
You know what? That's probably the perfect way to put it.
And probably what was going on. They're just setting us all up for the sequel. Which
I can't wait to see what they do with this and these acrobatic.
We're gonna stop thinking about this movie after Mithrigan 2.0. That's
it's gonna be just as layered with symbolism, I'm sure.
And now because they made her bigger, you can get the doll and do what you want with it. Have fun, guys. Which I see people unboxing these life-size dolls, and I'm like, oh, this country just needs to just disappear.
Does that mean you're not going to have to end guys or finish guys?
I won't finish anybody on this one. You can finish yourself with your life-size, hopefully 18-year-old Mithrigan doll.
For anybody listening, I'd love to know what the count is of movies I've seen with dicks in them this year. I would really like to know. And at the end, I want to know how many movies. Because
Dong counter.
We need a dong counter for 2025 movies. It's out of control.
Can we add graphics to this? Just like pictures of dildos or something?
Sheridan will go back, watch each movie, and do a count of how many dongs you actually
Somebody
see.
should.
Please.
Because I know there were movies at the beginning of the year where I might not have mentioned it because the trend was just starting and maybe I didn't notice. It was like March till I started complaining about it.
Now it's shocking.
Now it's now I'm not noticing again because there are so many dicks.
I can't believe you missed dicks in one of your picks. You missed dicks in the picks.
I just blocked it out somehow.
Thank God Aaron's
he's numb to it now. He's
I was until this movie. That freaking thing flapping in the wind.
No, I know. That was Die Hard with a Vengeance.
I thought I could hear it.
Yeah, I'm going to have nightmares about that. For real.
Oh, my Lord.
All right. Well, that's 3 dongs up for this movie. And
one dong harder than the others.
And next week, Mithrigan. And that's it for us tonight. Thanks everybody in the chat room for joining us, and you at home. Have a good night. See y'all later.
Hold on to your dongs.
Jesus, bye.